Chess, 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 chess. Although the version probably all of you watch and play is the most popular version of chess in the Western world, there are many other types of chess played all around the world. Some more popular than others, such as Xiangqi, the version of chess most commonly played in China. That's what today's video will be about. These are some of the other different types of chess played around the world. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe as always, and I appreciate every single one of you for watching the video. Xiangqi. Xiangqi, let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right before y'all flame me in the comments. Xiangqi. Okay, good. Xiangqi is very similar to the chess we're all familiar with, but also quite different. To start, on each side of the board there is a 3x3 X shape that is called the palace. The king gets his own little home in this version, bro. He's got his own little crib and everything. In the center of the board dividing both sides is called the river. Straight out of poker, this one here is. I don't know how many of you have seen Hunter x Hunter, but they play a made-up version of chess called Gunji in that show, and in my opinion, it seems to be based off of Xiangqi, which is pretty fucking cool. The general is the king of this version. The difference is he can't leave the palace. If you got a big home and you can't leave it, it's more like a prison, wouldn't you say? The general is also not allowed to move into a column that the other general across the whole damn board is occupying, unless there is a piece blocking the line of sight. The guard can only move one space diagonally, and is also confined to the palace. The horse. Which I gotta say, I love that name. Let's rename the knight to the horse, I think. Horse me! He moves very similar to the standard knight. He goes one piece forward or horizontally, followed by one space diagonally. Unlike the knight though, he is not allowed to jump over other pieces. The chariot is literally just the rook, moves the same way. The cannon is the most interesting piece in the game of Chinese chess in my opinion. It also moves just like a rook would, but to jump a piece, the cool thing about the chariot is it must jump over one and no more of either player's pieces to get a capture. So say, it's kind of like checkers, like how in checkers you ever play checkers with double jump? That's pretty much what the cannon is. The soldier is effectively the pawn in this version. I know you're saying, what the fuck is the point of the river? I mean, they still brought up the river and just moved on like, I mean, what the fuck's the river? That's where the soldier comes in. It's allowed to move one space just like a pawn until it crosses the river, that is. Then it can move one space forward or horizontally. Let's go. Think of the river like a 1-up from Mario, I suppose. The rest of the game plays the same as the chess we all know and love, with checks being a thing and someone winning by checkmate, which works the same way. Only difference is, if you force your opponent to repeat moves to block a check, then you win the game. Unlike Western chess where you can repeat moves to block a check and your opponent is just wasting your time and being an annoying fuck. If you repeat the blocking of a check the same way 3 times, you lose the game. You have to change the way you block the check each time. Shogi. Shogi is the Japanese version of chess, and let me tell you, it's like the Dark Souls of chess. It's like the Elden Cockring of chess. This shit seems difficult as fuck, and that's saying a lot because I'm already out here blundering my queen as it is. You can move a piece each turn or drop a piece each turn. Already it's like, what the fuck's going on here? The king moves the same in Shogi, the Gold General. I find a lot of these names so funny, man. The Gold General. He can move one space in any direction except diagonally backward. The Silver General can move one space diagonally in any direction or one space forward. He's like if a pawn and a bishop had a baby. The knight can jump one space forward and then one space diagonally forward. He's basically the standard knight, but with one less square he can go, and he can't go from side to side, only up and down. And he can jump fucking pieces. Hell yeah. I love that shit, man. The bishop is exactly the same as the standard bishop, so's the rook. The lance can move any amount of free spaces forward, so basically the lance is like a rook that can't go side to side. The pawn is also the same, the only difference is the pawn can only move one space every time, unlike Western chess where it can move 2 spaces its first turn. One really weird thing about Shogi is you promote once you enter one of the 3 back rows of the enemy. Not just the main back row, just one of the 3 back rows. Once a piece upgrades, it gets weird properties depending on the piece.
The promoted Silver General, promoted Knight, promoted Lance, and the promoted Pawn can move as a Gold General, one space in any direction except diagonally backwards. The promoted Bishop can move any number of free spaces in any diagonal direction, or one space forward, backwards, left, or right. The promoted rook can move any number of free spaces forward, backwards, left, or right, or one space in any diagonal direction.
And now, shit gets weird. Gets real weird, man. Once you capture a piece in Shogi, when it is your turn again, you can choose to play, or choose to bring in one of your opponent's captured pieces as your own. Imagine blundering a queen and now your opponent got 2 of them. Holy hell, what the actual fuck, man? In my opinion, Shogi seems harder than Western chess for this reason alone. Outside of that, the winning conditions are the same, check and checkmate still exists and operate the same way. There are so many other types of chess in the world, this video could be 3 hours long. I just wanted to go over some of the more popular and interesting versions in my opinion today. Let me know what y'all think about these though, and if there's any cool versions I'm missing. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. If you want to spit in my cheeks, then just do so. I will not stop you.